I know a lot of people don't like to use starch anymore to iron their clothes, but I do because starch seems to give it a very strong, nice finish. And it also sometimes makes the ironing process a little bit easier when you have something that is seriously wrinkled. So normally I would buy Faultless Heavy Finish spray starch. Comes in this kind of can or one with a lemon scent added. It doesn't matter to me. I go back and forth. Usually, I guess around $1.25 is what I would normally pay for this can. Unfortunately, with inflation, this is now around $3.25 per can. So that's a little bit higher than what I want to pay because I don't really do a whole lot of ironing anymore. But when I do, I really would like to have some starch available. So many years ago, I started using make your own kind of starch. And out of necessity, like a lot of people, I just needed to find a cheaper way. And back in the 90s, we did a lot more starching and ironing than I do now. So basically, if you would like to do the same, make your own type of spray starch. It's very simple and easy to do. I have an 8-ounce spray bottle here. So this is cool water, and I am just going to pour that directly into a jar. I use a jar with a handle because it's a little bit easier to get in and out of the microwave. Then I am going to use 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, regular cornstarch, just like you would use in cooking. 1 teaspoon. And then I'm going to mix that up. Now, the reason that you want to add it to cold water is so it won't clump so much. If you add it to hot water, then you're going to find that it clumps too much to mix up into the water to get into a good consistency that won't clog up the spray bottle. So stir this up for a little bit. Just make sure you don't have any clumps anywhere. Don't see any. And now what you're going to do is put this in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes. You're going to get it to a boiling point. You do not want to immediately take it out. You want to let it cool after a little while because you don't want to transfer your hot starch water into your plastic bottle because it will melt. So that is why I have allowed for this mixture, which I already made, already boiled, and has now cooled. I can put that into my spray bottle. Now you can use less or more starch depending on how strong you want your starch to be. Just remember that if you spray on some black pants or something that is dark in color, you may see some starch residue. You may see a little white whenever you run across the iron over the starch part of the fabric. So just keep that in mind. And you can always dilute your starch down to where you don't have that. It will be a little thinner and it won't be nearly as thick, but it will still work. You may just have to spend a little more time and effort whenever you are doing the ironing. All right, so here is a piece of fabric. It is going to be pretty wrinkledy. So we're going to just spray our starch on there. And any thicker than the recipe that I have used may clog up the spray nozzle. And you may find that it's a little more friction whenever you do your ironing, but you're also going to find that it's a little easier to get the wrinkles out. You also want to make sure that your iron is very clean, because anytime that you iron something that is wet with a very dirty iron, that has the ability to transfer over to the piece of fabric. But that's it. Homemade starch, simple and easy to do, very cheap if you're looking for an alternative.